My husband and partner of 11 years called me fat after my sister's baby shower. So, as the title suggests, my husband, 27 meters, called me fat. I, 26F, asked him if I looked okay at my sister's baby shower. I asked him multiple times, wanting to know, as I wore something out of my comfort zone. I wore a silk skirt and black tank top. I enjoy fashion trends but never liked my body to try anything. But lately I've been trying to branch out despite how I feel about myself. Hoping in a way that if I like the clothes I wear, maybe I'd like the way I look. Anyway, after the occasion I drive us home and he was in his usual bad mood after any amount of time he spends with my family. That's a whole different story for another day. I asked him, how did I look? Did I look okay? He replied with, do you want to fight or you want me to say you looked fine? My stomach dropped as I truly wasn't expecting that response. We went back and forth a bit. I didn't raise my voice but knew he wouldn't say that unless he had a different opinion. I finally told him, if I did look okay you wouldn't have said that, so just tell me the truth. Big mistake on my part. He told me, well honey, your arms looked fat and your belly was sticking out. You put on a bit of weight. I was crushed. Absolutely gobsmacked, as my entire relationship with this man he never once commented on my weight. I usually wear leggings and big t-shirt or sweatshirts around him, so to hear I didn't look good to him in an outfit I really liked crushed me. I didn't fight back and was silent the whole drive home. I cancelled plans to meet up with my family after the event for dinner, as I just couldn't eat after hearing something like that. We got home and he had things he had to do for work, and I went and got dressed immediately in workout clothes and went outside for a walk/run until it was too dark. I came back with still not talking to him. I showered and slept in the guest room that night. Now it's the next day and he hasn't spoken to me and has given me short texts while at work, barely acknowledging me. I haven't been able to eat since the encounter. Back in high school, I went through years of an eating disorder. Up until I was out of college I barely ate and exercised immensely. My whole life I struggled with my self-image and my weight. Even as a kid my dad and grandfather would comment on my weight or appearance. It has never been easy for me to lose weight and I've never been very thin. I'm taller and have a curvy body type, and it's always been an insecurity of mine. He has never made me feel insecure for 11 years of being with him. When I've asked previously he would say things like you're silly or you're beautiful. I know I've put on weight, but for once in my life I wasn't counting calories and eating freely. It was nice while it lasted. Now, I'm not sure if I'll ever be able to get past this feeling of self-hatred. Anyway, thanks for listening. Edit 1. I don't have an update yet as my husband is at work, but I plan to give one tonight or tomorrow. I want to start with I didn't know he would say I looked fat. Truly. I didn't know he'd point out specific insecurities my father and grandfather would point out to me as a child. I want to also give some context to those who are calling me fat despite knowing what I look like. I am not plus-sized and wear a size ML. I am also 5 feet 8 inches. No, you won't get my exact weight, but good on you for trying. However, I have been to the doctor recently for blood work and I put on 16 pounds since my last appointment in 2021. I stated I had an eating disorder before and overcame that, so please keep that in mind when you comment, as this is very difficult to not fall back into that. My husband has never said anything about my weight or image, but he knows I'm insecure. I do work out and work a full-time job. I'm a very active person. When I said eat freely I didn't mean overeat. I ate 3 meals a day, sometimes 2. I asked him multiple times as his answers were different from his usual comforting words. He only nodded his head or said I also did not ask if I looked fat. I wore a different outfit than usual and wanted to know if he liked it. He obviously did not. I'm going to try to get off these threads as some comments are being extremely hurtful. In the meantime, I want to know if anyone has helpful advice to start a conversation with my husband, as I do really love him and value his feelings. I want to add I'm not in therapy, but any suggestions for affordable care is appreciated. I am on medication for my anxiety and panic disorder. It's all can afford currently. We live over an hour away from the nearest city. I also asked him if would go to this family event and he said yes with no issue weeks in advance. He makes his own schedule and gets 3 days off a week. He made this one of his days off. To those who said kind things or were really wanting to help, I truly thank you. I'm not wanting to bash my husband either. I think he's a good man with a lot on his plate. I'm hoping this will pass. Thank you. Edit 2. He came home. I wanted to just talk about it. I apologized for my behavior at the shower and having him come on his day off. I apologized for asking him a question I didn't want the answer to. He said it was fine. I did tell him that what he said did hurt me and that any conversation about my health is welcome, but what he said to me hurt. I told him a story I told him before. I was maybe 9 years old and my grandfather came up behind me and told me I had a big belly, then sat next to my thin sister and talked to her about school and sports. I sat alone on the steps of my family porch by myself. I was 9 years old. I didn't eat for a week. That image of my grandfather doing that burned in my mind all day. He has been my demon my whole life. Last year in April, my grandfather passed away. He never liked me but loved my sister. She was always thin. When he died I felt nothing but that image of him went away. I began to stop restricting myself and eat 2 to 3 meals a day. Over time I put on 16 pounds. What I'm saying is, weight is a hard subject for me. I have a billion other stories but this one sticks out and I can't explain to you why. A concerned husband about my weight is a conversation I'm willing to have. I wish we'd had it sooner. Him pointing out specific flaws just hurts. I can't explain it. I shouldn't have asked him to go to the shower. He works very hard to provide for us. He values his days off and I shouldn't have asked him to go. I know I'm at fault but do wish he was kinder. I told him this. He felt no remorse. I tried to have a conversation but he didn't want to. I asked him if I were Instagram model thin and the same person would he still value my feelings. He couldn't answer. I asked if there was someone else and he laughed. I don't think he'd cheat on me. I'm not sure what to do. I love him so much and he's all I've ever known. But I am very hurt and feel like I'm headed to a dark place. I haven't eaten all day and exercised twice. I remember this feeling and I don't know how to get out. I don't have money for therapy you guys but I sure wish I did. Any advice would be appreciated. If you're here to call me fat, please get in line behind my husband, my father, and my late grandfather. If you're here to give helpful advice, I'm listening. Thanks Reddit. Thanks for listening. Please like, comment and subscribe. Thank you.